Hey, YouTube, it's another perfect day in God's country, and I ain't lying. Today, we're going to fuss with this 93 F-150 4x4 with the, y'all are a bunch of turkeys. I don't know if you guys can see this, but these turkeys are just, you guys are a bunch of turkeys. Hey, they're just a bunch of turkeys is all. I don't know what else to say. But anyway, the ultimate beater with a heater, my 1993 F-150 inline 6. I call it the Green Goblin. For several years, my son and I called it the Gray Ghost. Probably don't need to bother explaining why we now call it the Green Goblin. What we got going on here is we got crank no start all of a sudden out of the blue, which is, it's not the first time with this truck. And then usually I can tickle her and she'll fire up. And once she'll fire up, I drive her to Florida. Lately it's been getting a little worse. So if I was driving it to Florida, I might never shut her off. But not sure if I'll be able to get this camera where I need it to be. But let's get right down to it, fellas. Crank no start. For those of you who know your way around under the hood of these Fords, pretty much doesn't matter if you got the 302, the 351, or the inline 6. We're pretty much going to be looking at the same issues here today. We got crank no start. I, at this moment, am quite confident I'm getting fuel because I could hear my fuel pump running, but I haven't checked fuel pressure at the rails or anything like that. However, my big hint is that, as I mentioned, she will fire off occasionally. It's like to me, it seems like she ain't getting spark. And then when every now and again she will, and she'll fire off. Now, as a longtime Ford guy, to me, that's got ICM written all over it. In these particular years, the ICM is no longer on the distributor. And it is down here on the firewall in these trucks from, I believe, 92 to 96, maybe still. I don't know where they are after that. I don't fuss with newer trucks much. But that is the ignition control module down there. And that's most likely the problem, or that would be my initial diagnostic. That would be my first guess. However, a lot of mechanics nowadays, a lot of fellas, a lot of shade tree mechanics even like to jump the gun on things. And I could probably get one of those for $40 and replace it and see what happens. A lot of fellas work on their old Fords that way. Now, this one, I've never changed the plugs on it. It's got over 300,000 miles. I bought it 5 or 6 years ago for $500. And I would say 4 to 5 years ago. I bought it. They're pre-pandemic, so right. So I've had it a while, and like I said, she does fire off every now and again. And here's another clue that I have: is when she does fire off, she runs really, really well, really smooth, and really well. So that's an interesting series of events, right? It could be a lot of things for you Ford guys. You understand? It could be a lot of things. I'm going to start by changing the 6 spark plugs because they've been in there a long time. I kind of suspect that if I change these 6 plugs and jump in the cab and turn the key, she's going to fire right off. If she doesn't fire right off and she humbles me a bit, then I will start looking at the ICM module, things like that. There's a lot of other things, folks. I don't believe I have any vacuum leaks in this truck, which can be a big one, not necessarily for starts, but for running bad. I just simply got crank no start, but I do know that when she starts, she runs pretty gosh darn good. I'm suspecting that these antiquated spark plugs are maybe not firing quite like they should, so I'm going to start there. And if it doesn't fire right off, I'll probably change the wires and the cap and rotor, which also looks like an antique. So what I'm doing here right now is I haven't really had to do anything under the hood of this truck Not much at all. We've put a new alternator on it and a new starter on it and a new belt and just run her into the ground. She just goes and goes and goes. So I'm going to rip all this gewgaws out of the way because I'm kind of old and I could probably change these plugs the way it is. But there's all kinds of stuff in my way that I want to get out of the way. And while I'm doing that, I am soaking every bolt I come across, every nut, every spring, every cable. It's time to soak them all and combat that rust a little bit. And I even like to soak the bolts that I don't think I'll ever use. That way, if I ever do need to get it, I've got a sporting chance. So I don't know how well y'all are going to be able to see this. I'm just going to try to get to work and start pulling some of this gewgaws out of my way and make a little room under here. So, I don't edit videos, so I will have to maybe pause it from time to time, or what's a lot more likely is you're going to get part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 5. So let me run and grab a couple things, and I'll be right back. All right, folks, I'm back. So let's just start pulling stuff and getting it out of our way. Make a little room here, eh? These are these right here are air intake. Of course, these hoses here come after your air box here. I'm going to pull this whole air box. I don't know if y'all can see me or not. You'll just have to bear with me. But I am going to pull the air box. Get all this stuff out of the way. And when you're working on a truck like this, at least when I'm working on a truck like this, I put all the parts I take off inside the cab of the truck, which is a really smart thing to do if you're working on 3 or 4 at a time like I am. I just keep them inside the truck so I know what parts go to which truck. I do the same thing with the new parts when I get them. I throw them inside the cab of the truck. If you don't see any parts laying around inside my truck, you know it must be doing all right at the moment. So to my longtime listeners who were helping me make decisions about that, what turned out to be a 2007 Ford motorhome, have to apologize to everybody. That is the fellow that sold me that $100 Ford F-150 plow truck that I brought home, and then that immediately sold. Some friend of mine stopped by and bought it off me, and I was going to go back and try to make a deal on that motorhome, and that old fella, God rest his soul, if he didn't pass away on us, you know. So my friend Bill, the guy that sold me that truck just a couple weeks ago, gosh darn him, he done passed away. Now, I told y'all he was having health problems, and I told y'all he was in the hospital, or maybe I didn't. Maybe I just left it at health problems, but I talked to him the day before he went in to have heart surgery, and started talking to him about that old motorhome. We was going to negotiate a deal on that thing, but he passed away, and that's the end of that for me. I don't go talking to people's families and stuff about their stuff. You know, it was Bill's motorhome. He's the one that asked me about it. He passed away, so I pretty much crossed that one off my list, and maybe I'll say a prayer for old Bill. God rest his soul. May he rest in peace. But so there's that. No motorhome. I did get a free camper given to me 2 days ago, and I'm going to do an episode about that. Sorry if y'all can't see me here. As always with these old Fords, I got a couple bolts don't want to do what they're supposed to do. We'll get this off here in just a second. Let's see. What's that going to be, do you suppose? Probably Well, I'll tell you what, folks. I will go ahead and pause this for now. And so as we're moving along here, just pulled the air box off, get that out of my way. And I don't know if y'all can see this. That's kind of cool. Pretty cool, huh? Not only did a mouse crawl in there and die, before he died, he put a bunch of rocks in here. That's a good way to get your motor run good, you know. It's a good thing this is a Ford. She can run on rocks, run on dead mice, you know. These old inline sixes are pretty hard to kill. So, we're gonna get this little old petrified mouse out of there, eh? I don't think this is why she wouldn't start, but, yeah, no point in leaving that in there anyway. Not that she was hurting anything. Yeah. Anywho, yeah, there you go. I thought I'd show you all that. So see, now we're starting to make a little room back in here. I get a little room to work. Get all this stuff out of here. Might be another mouse or two in here. Huh? Yeah, there we go. Sit that stuff on the side of the truck for now. And all right, see, now we got this inline six, so it's about one of the easiest vehicles you can change the plugs on. Here's the plugs down here. I'm going to clean all this up, start spraying some juice around, and I'm going to crawl my butt down there and pull these 6 old plugs and put 6 new ones in there. And I got to be honest, I don't expect it to go as easy as it ought to, because these darn plugs might have been in there for 20 years or more. But anyway, I thought I'd take you all through step 1 here. And like I said, most guys will tell you, you know, crank, no start. There's going to be probably an issue with the ignition control module. It could be an old distributor is just about had enough, or the old cap and rotor and new plugs and wires, and that may do it. And in this particular case, because she runs pretty good when she's fired off, I'm going to go ahead and start with that stuff. 6 new plugs, and like I said, I'm just going to change the plugs first, fire her off, see if she lights right up. And then now that I'm looking at this old cap and stuff, I'll probably go ahead and get wires and a cap and rotor for her. But for now, I'm going to change those plugs. So I'll try my best to keep you all updated on this one and not disappear with this truck. I've had this truck 5-6 years ago, or 5 or 6 years now. So, you know, it's one of my favorites because it looks like this. And you know what this does? This keeps fellas from stopping and buying my truck off me, right? So therefore, it just stands the test of time. And ironically, the frame is really nice on this truck. Well, I say really nice, but the frame is still good and solid on this truck. She got good brakes, got a good inline six, got good 4-wheel drive. It's a heck of a $500 truck. So we're going to try to get her back up and running right for the winter you know, without spending 30, 40 bucks on this thing. Hate to throw all that money into her. And I do got a new set of Goodyear Wranglers to go all the way around on her, though. But might as well might as well make sure she's going to run first, right? So ask yourself, who can I help today? Most importantly, go out there and do it. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and bell. And I promise y'all a part 2 on this. Ain't no point in you guys watching me bend over my hood and pull those plugs out. That's what we're going to do next. And I will be sure and give you an update. Thanks for watching, everybody.